I'm thrilled to be here today, to be sought out and asked to perform your ceremony. Is a great privilege, so thank you. But let's just take a moment and Phil, look at Gabby and how beautiful she looks in that dress.
You can't make me cry.
And to think that as you guys get older together, Gabby is going to get more and more beautiful. Gabby, look at Phil. This is as good as it's going to be. All downhill from here. His hair all done. For those of you that don't know the love story of Gabby and Phil, it all started in 2011. They were a match from the very beginning. At least that's what the people on Match.com thought. They met on that platform in 2011, which back then was actually very taboo. It's a very taboo industry in 2011. But Gabby had heard good reviews from a friend, so she decided to give it a shot. The two connected online and began asking several questions, getting to know each other. Eventually they met at a great little restaurant in Little Italy, and while Gabby was a little shy and never made great eye contact, Phil said there was never a lull in the conversation. They both felt the instant connection that night as Phil kissed her goodnight. That date led to many more, and those dates led to June 12th, 2018, when Phil proposed. Their relationship was long distance temporarily as Gabby had moved in with her mom to help with her mom. Phil wanted Gabby to know that while Gabby was going through a hard time in life, that she was not alone. So on June 12th, 2018, Phil made Gabby know that he was in this for the long run. And after a concert together in San Francisco, they drove up the coast to Mendocino, where they stayed in a beautiful little cottage that overlooked the ocean. As they were sharing wine at sunset, Phil got down on one knee, and he poured his heart out for Gabby, and he asked her to marry him. And she said yes. Gabby, listen to what Phil said about you. I love Gabby because of her sense of adventure. There have been so many times where she impressed me with her ability to just go for it. I love Gabby because she's kind. She is so nice to everyone and is truly a selfless person. I love Gabby because she has tremendous wit and a great sense of humor. We have a lot of fun together. Phil said he is marrying you because the happiest times in my life have been exploring new places or some crazy adventures with Gabby. I think marriage is a crazy adventure, and there's nobody that I would rather share that with than Gabby. I can't wait until we travel again and explore all that the world has to offer together. Phil, listen to what Gabby said about you. I love Phil because of his sense of humor. He could find the humor in everything, from laughing about our angry mailman to finding the humor in the complications of trying to have a wedding during a pandemic. Phil is able to make light of everything, and it brings a lot of bright spots in what could otherwise be dark. I love Phil because he is selfless. Whether it's in regards to families, pets, a houseplant, whatever, Phil will go out of his way to care for the things that he cares about. I love Phil because he's genuine and authentic. Phil is true to himself. He doesn't try to be anyone else, and I love that about him. Gabby said she is marrying you because Phil has been my person through thick and thin. Through the good and the bad, through the better and through the worst, Phil has been my rock, and I know that he will be there for me no matter what. Phil also loves me for being me, not the person I wish I could be or the person I pretended to be with other people I've dated, but for all of me, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Phil, you're just like perfect, aren't you? Oh my gosh, I'm like falling with you right now. She works so much. He tells me I'm still as beautiful as the first day he met me, even though I basically lived in sweatpants and haven't worn makeup since quarantine began, and the days I'm too tired to shower after a hard day of housework. It's those days that Phil tells me he loves me and he likes my sweat. I know that he's just telling me that to make me feel better, but I really appreciate that I can be me, sweatpants and all. Don't forget those, you guys. Man, Phil and Gabby, today you're getting married. The day is finally here. The fact that you got a wedding pull off today, let's give it a round of applause. The one thing I want you guys to walk away with today is understand something, and that's that marriage is hard. And as you get started on this marriage adventure, just because you're getting married, it doesn't mean you can cross marriage off the to-do list. You see, marriages that work are marriages that are worked on. So let's take a moment to find out how you two can develop a love that grows deeper as you grow older together. And fortunately, God, the author of love, has left us with some practical words for how we can have a happy and healthy marriage. I'm a pastor, so I brought one scripture, all right? Matthew 19 says, when God made the world, he made them male and female. And God said, so a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife. And the two people will become one body. So the two are no longer two, but one. You see, there's something interesting that happens when two people choose to come together like you have today. And we don't completely understand it all the time, but we know we are a lot better together than when we were apart. And the interesting thing is it's not two half people coming together to make one person, but it's two whole people, just as you are today, coming together to make one body. There are 4 simple qualities about this oneness that I want to challenge you guys to share with one another as you embark on this marriage adventure. And the first is this: you share your unity. There are many couples when they get married, they make up their minds that their marriage is going to be 50-50. If you do 50%, I'll do 50%. If you clean the bedroom, I'll clean the bathroom. If you cook, I will clean up. The only problem is a 50-50 marriage does not work. A 50-50 marriage leads to competition and comparison. The only marriages that work are 100% marriages where you're serving each other ahead of yourselves 100% of the time. Sure, if you cook and she cleans, or you cook, he cleans, no big deal. But what you don't do is you don't start keeping a short list of everything your spouse is not doing, and then you pull that out when you're mad at each other. But you just do those things. You do them out of a love and a service for each other. And then number 2, you share your diversity. And diversity comes from the qualities that you possess that are different from one another. You see, the goal of diversity is to celebrate your differences in one another, but then you use those differences to sharpen and strengthen each other. So Phil, you learn from Gabby, appreciate her differences. Gabby, does Phil have some differences?
A little bit.
Well, I was like really quick, affirmative. Learn from them, appreciate them. But to the both of you, I ask that you just simply let each of your differences enhance and enlarge your impact to the world. Because man, this world, it needs you guys to celebrate all that you are. Number 3, share your encouragement. And encouragement comes from the way in which you bring out the best in each other. And by coming together in marriage, you commit to becoming one another's biggest fan. As one another's biggest fan, the greatest thing you could do as a fan is to cheer. So you cheer loudly with your words, cheer continually with your actions, and you cheer faithfully from your heart. To encourage someone, it literally means to pour courage into them. So when you guys use your words of affirmation, you're actually pouring courage into the soul of another being. So your words are extremely powerful. And then the last thing is you share your love. And love comes from the commitment you make to one another for the rest of your lives. And we often go through life growing up thinking of love as a feeling. But I want to challenge you guys to think of love as a verb. Because love is something that you do for one another. And I believe the more you do things that are loving, the more intimate you will feel and be. That is love. And this love is a love beyond circumstances or situations. It's a love that has no limits and has absolutely no boundaries. You make this commitment of love for the rest of your lives. You make it each new morning you get out of bed. You wake up, say I love you, but then you use the rest of that day to demonstrate that love to one another. Before you say vows to each other, the crowd is actually going to say vows to you. Because I want you to look at these people right here. These people are here not just to watch you get married. They are here as witnesses. And as witnesses, they're going to leave with a job today as well. Dude, you're going to leave with a job today too, sweetie. During the amazing times of life, what these people are going to do is they are going to celebrate with you. But during the hard times of life, they are going to commit to be there for you, to cry with you. So crowd, before they vow to you their vows, would you vow this to them? And if you would, right now answer, we will.
We will.
All right, Phil, repeat after me. I, Phil, promise to you, Gabby, to share with you all of my love in my life, in good times and in bad, to respect and cherish you as my wife
to respect and cherish you as my wife
from this day forward
from this day forward
until death do us part.
until death do us part.
All right, Gabby, repeat after me. You good?
Okay, yes.
All right, let's do this. I, Gabby,
Hi, Gabby.
promise to you, Phil, to share with you all of my love in my life,
All of my love in my life,
in good times and in bad,
in good times and in bad.
to respect and cherish you as my husband
Respect and cherish you as my husband.
from this day forward
From this day forward,
until death do us part.
until death do us part.
All right, may I have the rings, please? The circle of the ring is unending. Let this represent your most unending love for one another. The circle of the ring is complete. Let this represent the strength of your love. It can never be broken. And then finally, the rings are made of precious stone. Let this represent your most precious love for one another. All right, Phil, go for it. Repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol
as a symbol
of my love and faithfulness,
of my love and faithfulness,
and a commitment to you
and a commitment to you
for all the days of my life.
for all that is in my life.
All right, you can secure it. All right, Gabby, grab his ring and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol
as a symbol
of my love and faithfulness,
as a symbol
of my love
and faithfulness,
and a commitment to you
and commitment to you
for all the days of my life.
for all that is left.
All right, close enough. Secure it. All right, you guys made it. Are you ready? Any questions? No, I'm just kidding. Now, by the authority committed to me by the state of California, and as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Phil, you may kiss your bride. Yeah. It is my true pleasure to present to you for the very first time as husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Phil and Gabby Blair.
I'm sorry.